Hey guys, Joe here, doing a video, and it's appropriate that I'm wearing the hat because I'm standing next to a good old boy. The 2016 Chevy Silverado double cab Z71 LT Plus Rallye 2 package truck. I know it's a mouthful, but just call it a Silverado and move on is what I say. So one thing I didn't realize, I'd been eyeing this truck for like 4 days to do this video without realizing this is actually a V6 truck. So that was impressive, and I actually really like the truck. I'm not gonna lie, I did the test drive first before I'm filming this, and it was an impressive drive. Bear with me and we will do a walk around in this truck and see what we think. So here she is. As you can see, she's a very, very red truck. This is not a pearl, it's nothing like that. This is just a pure red vehicle with black accents. So as we're walking up to it, it's got the body color bumpers. I kind of like that it's got a little bit of chrome on it, but not too much. I'm not a huge chrome guy. God, now everybody's gonna yell at me for that. But I like the monochromatic look. I think it actually kind of hides some of the mass of the vehicle a little bit better. This bad boy is riding on the massive 22-inch wheels. Didn't really expect to see something that big on a V6 powered vehicle, but that just shows you how far engine tech has come. It's got running boards and it's got striping on it. I will admit I'm not a huge fan of this stripe, and it's possibly just because of the weird angle it takes. Now I know that it's a Rallye package that they've done with this truck, but this angle makes almost no sense to me because it doesn't appear on a Camaro, and it shouldn't appear here because the window doesn't do the same angle. It could have just as easily come all the way under the mirror and come down to that emblem and it would have looked fine. And unfortunately, since Ford came out with it first, if you look at an FX2 or an FX4, it's almost a reverse from what their stripe does. Their badge is up higher, and then the stripe goes down and back along the door of the vehicle. So unfortunately, it's a little bit of a copycat, but to each his own, I'd say. If it was my truck, personally, I wouldn't do the stripes. I'd actually pull them right off the vehicle. As is our custom around here, this vehicle has been lined. We do that in-house, saves money, offers a better deal to the customer as they're coming up to the vehicle. That way they don't have to spend as much. Obviously, I would like to thank Ted Britt for letting me borrow this truck and do this review. I will put their information in the description below. Walk around to this side so you can get another look at it. The double cab is a lot shorter. It's even shorter than it actually looks, because when you open the door, you'll see that the door is masking all of this metal. You don't see that when the door is closed. You would think that it's actually this much opening, but it's only that much opening. It's a little bit constrictive when you're trying to get in, but it's not detrimental. It doesn't ruin the experience, and especially if you're just throwing kids or crap back there, who cares? I didn't say that like I don't care about kids. I'm just saying it's not as big a deal when smaller objects or people are being put into the truck. Just gonna get yelled at every day for every word I ever say. So here is the beating heart of this beast, and it is a 4.3 liter V6. Now, back in the day of the Vortec 4.3 liter V6, that was a joke because it made 180 horsepower, barely more than that in torque, could barely pull its own weight, and if you crammed it into a 6,000 pound vehicle, you were lucky if you didn't get hit by everything coming up behind you. This one makes plenty of power. I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head. I will put it right here as soon as I look it up. So it will be appearing here, and you will have it for your edification. Lots of room in this bay, obviously, because it's designed to take multiple engines. As you can see, it's not the most well-balanced engine in the world, but that's a small price to pay, I guess. It's not as bad as it could be, and I have seen some of these engines after the break-in period, they do get a lot smoother in terms of how they run. Now let's take a look at the window sticker. So the estimated miles per gallon on this vehicle, 19 miles is its average. As they say, it could get up to 22 miles to the gallon, 17 in the city. Those are estimates. It could be higher, it could be lower, depends on your driving style and where you're driving it. If you do a lot of hilly driving, it's going to be a little bit bleh. So as you can see, it's got the 6-speed automatic transmission. I apologize, this sun is just wiping out everything and I have the truck facing the wrong way. But on a good note, it is 5-star rated in almost every category except for rollover, and a 4-star rating is actually pretty darn good. This vehicle, this engine is designed to run on E85 or regular fuel. I would suggest regular fuel if you want to make the most fuel economy with power. However, on a lot of vehicles, I'm not sure if this one can do it, but E85 will make more power but get way less fuel economy. So you have to decide for yourself which way you want to go. Looking at the base price of this vehicle, it was $41,185, which wasn't a terrible price for the standard equipment you get, but then you start adding on your packages. The LT Plus package is a reasonable $785. That added the power sliding rear window, the park assist, the power adjustable pedals, and the home remote. Not a big list of options, but it's stuff that I would highly suggest. The Rallye 2 edition package, which is right here, is the biggest add-on, which is the $49.95. Now, I also missed the fact that this has an extra package on it, which is the $1,310 All-Star edition. And I'm also backtracking once more because this has the spray and bed liner from the factory. But this one has the power seat adjuster driver. That should just be standard anyways. You got the remote vehicle start, rear window defroster, all the power outlets. So basically everything here is more options. And then of course you come down to here with the heated seats, even though they're cloth. All that you could probably get away without having and just get a regular LT. This is the one I was telling you should always get, which is the Chevy MyLink audio system. Comes with the 8-inch diagonal color touchscreen and navigation, but it also has the Apple CarPlay and the, let's see, where is it? Well, this one just says Apple CarPlay, but it's got Android Auto as well. So there you go. Decal delete on the pickup box. Oh, okay. It doesn't say Z71 on the side of the box because of the stripe. But if you want this exact truck, you're going to spend $9,000 on the options. So the good news is Chevys are always on sale. You'll always be able to get a huge discount off the window sticker of a Chevy truck as long as you know to ask. Some people just run in, hey, here's a check, thank you. I love those people, but I digress. Go in, see what rebates are available in your area, see what you need to do to qualify, and then see how much that actually takes off the price of the truck. And you will find that it will take a very, very large sum of money off the truck. Also keep in mind that V6 model trucks tend to go on sale faster or give bigger discounts than the V8 powered trucks because they're a little bit cheaper truck to build, and most lots, most dealerships don't care to have them unless they're a really billy basic work truck that some company's going to buy in order to have for a fleet. So that's a little tip I have for you guys. You'll notice that I don't tell you guys rebates, financing, anything like that in my videos. And I said it once before, but I want to reiterate it. The reason I don't is because it's varied from region to region to region to region. So somebody watching this video here in Virginia where I am, yeah, that number would be accurate for them. But somebody as west as even probably the Mississippi area might have a different rebate, or as far south as below North Carolina may have different rebates. So I don't want to throw off bad numbers for you. So that's why I only list MSRP when I'm talking about trucks. Here we go. Standard pan around of the dashboard of the 2016 Chevrolet Silverado double cab Rallye 2 package. This vehicle has a lot of the same standard features that were on the LT Plus that I showed you before, mostly because this is an LT Plus. And then the Rallye 2 package is on top of that. As before, here on the left side, you have your trailer brake control, your four-wheel drive control, and your headlight controls. Typically, when I have mine, I always just set mine right there to auto and leave it there. Coming to the steering wheel, sorry, there's some sunlight. Cruise control on that side. Voice control and menu control on this side, and this is one of the ones. Can you see that? Has the function controls for the audio system on the back of the steering wheel, and an old-fashioned key. What can you do? I guess they did it because it's a lesser expensive vehicle. Ford does the same thing with the F-150. The higher end ones are the only ones with push button start. I've said it before, I really like this shifter stock because look at that. I have big hands and it's just a nice chunky thing. Some of them have really dainty shifters and they just don't feel right when you're trying to shift them manually. To the dash cluster, to the wall, this one is of course a Z71 package, LT Plus package, Rallye 2 package. And you know, they'll always tell you all that stuff. In the center stack, you have the obviously reconfigurable display with all the same stuff as the other truck. All your gauges up there. These are all analog, not digital. Some people like one more than the other. I don't mind either one. Moving here to the center stack, this is the upgraded radio. And if there's one thing I can suggest to you guys when you're out shopping for these vehicles, by all means get the upgraded radio, because it's only $495 more to step up from the standard radio to this system. And this is the one that has Android CarPlay or Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and this one's got navigation. As you can see, it's very accurate. It says we're off-road, which yeah, we are. CD player, and the trucks apparently seem to be the last vehicles that have the CD players, because as I pointed out in another video after a viewer pointed out to me, the cars no longer have actual CD players. They're all MP3 or Bluetooth based. Here's your controls for the heated seats. You have different settings, of course. Adjustable pedals, which is always good because different drivers of different heights and all that stuff. Cargo light, parking sensors, hill descent control, temperature controls, digital readouts in the knobs, but the rest of it's all buttons so that when you're wearing gloves and stuff, you can push it and not have to worry about it. In the center stack, as I showed you before, you have plenty of places to plug things in. USB ports on the pinky side, standard outlet, and it is a grounded outlet. Some of them aren't, don't know why, but this one at least is. Two power outlets, or you could plug in a cigarette lighter, but you know, you shouldn't smoke in your vehicles, it devalues them. Coming back here on the center armrest, I love me some stickers. This is the wireless charging port or wireless charging pad for smartphones, which this one has the option of. Yet I love me some stickers, because look at this. If you're not careful, a bunch of snakes will come out of a book that has eyes in it. And also, you should never, ever make sure that your phone has a keyboard and it's sitting on top of change, keys, and what apparently is a paperclip. So there you go. You should only put it here if it's on top of a blank piece of paper. Inside the center armrest, you've got, wow, lots of stuff. So, you know, if you're a good old boy, you can put a gun safe in there. Here you have two more USB ports, as well as an aux jack, and one more power port. So yeah, you could run just about every damn thing you have in this vehicle. You've got the split glove box, which is cool. You usually put your registration stuff down here or up there, and you can just have it all readily available. One thing I've always liked about GM vehicles is this sticker, because it has all of your option codes listed there. So if you ever want to know what rear end your vehicle has, or what engine option it came with, or paint code, or anything, you refer to that sticker. Now let's jump into the back seat, because this is a double cab, not a crew cab, which is what I looked at before, and let's see what the difference is. Hey, look, it's another power port. Can never have too many of those damn things, apparently. So here we are in the back seat of said vehicle, and I will have to tell you the truth, I did wind up moving this seat forward a little bit, but that's actually one of the geniuses of the adjustable pedals in this vehicle. Look, I'm a giant about to touch the button. When you can move the pedals forward or back, you can actually have more adjustment with the seat than you would think, because you do that, you push the pedals forward, you slide the column forward, you slide the seats forward, and it allows somebody of my stature to be able to fit in the back seat. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is about the same room that I have in the back of my Dodge Ram when I'm in the back of that. It's not a place for long trips for tall people, but again, if you plan accordingly and you put the smaller people in the back seat, you put the taller people in the front seat, you usually won't have a problem. And funnily enough, because of the design of the center console, you actually have more room in the center on this truck than you do on either outboard seat. So being in the middle is not actually the worst thing in this truck. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take it out for a little drive. I've never driven one of these with the V6 before, not this 4.3 that's in here. I've driven some of the older ones with the old ancient Vortec V6, and those things were just atrocious. So let's see how this thing is. This truck with the 22-inch wheels, of course, rides very stiffly, but it's not as noisy as I was expecting. And again, I've only hit a couple of small bumps so far, but it's also not as thunky as I expect it would be. You know, when you have very stiff sidewalls or very short sidewalls, that they tend to thump, thump, thump every time you hit like an expansion joint in the freeway or anything like that. This one's doing pretty good. Obviously, tons of headroom. It's a truck. I could wear a top hat in here. As a matter of fact, I might in the next video. I'm just kidding, I don't have a top hat. Brakes feel good. They modulate well. It brings the truck down from speed without any real problems. I'm not feeling like any weird feelings. And I know, new truck, new cars, new this, new that. But some vehicles just don't feel right. And I'm sure some of you guys out there have jumped into, I'm just throwing this one out there because I've had some experience with it. I test drove a brand new Nissan Titan when they first came out, and it just had 17-inch wheels on it. But when I hit the brakes on a brand new truck, it just felt like it wanted to pull. So even a brand new vehicle can have issues. And I never drove another one after that to see if it still had that same problem across the board, but I'm always wary of weird things like that. Sometimes you get a brand new truck and with these big ass wheels and they've been sitting forever, so the tires actually kind of, it's not really flat spotting them when they sit, but they kind of get like an unbalanced feel to them until you drive them out a little bit. So I always check for that too. That's one way that you guys can tell if a vehicle's been on the lot a really long time. There used to be these old stories about how you could go to a dealership and look at the brake rotors on a vehicle, and you could use that to determine how long the vehicle had been there. And back in the day of 13-inch wheels, that may have been true. But nowadays, when you have vehicles with 17, 18, 19, 22-inch wheels, that's not the same case because the rotor is exposed all the time when you have giant wheels like this. They're always exposed to the elements, to water, to moisture, to dew, all of that stuff. So you're going to get surface rust on brakes after just a few days, especially if it's a few days after you've had a rainstorm. So what you need to look at is when you're driving it, how do the brakes feel when you're stopping? Because if a truck has been sitting, or car, anything, has been sitting for a long time, it will actually put a little bit of warp into the rotors from the brake pads touching for so long. The rust forms between the two, so you'll feel it when you start stopping. Start stopping, oxymoron, but you know what I mean. When you come to a stop, it's going to feel different. As a consumer, it's nice to see that GM is using a lot of similar parts across the board. Some people may say, oh, well, then you're losing some of your brand identity by doing that. Not really, because by having the interiors be very similar across all the Chevrolets without it being blatantly so, by making it more familial, you can also make it slightly cheaper and then offer more options at the same time. So by going to the same stack and everything and going to the same basic instrument clusters and everything, it works really well. It brings down the price, which allows them to throw more content in it. As we spoke of before, this one does not have the sunroof, which I really like. And it's not just a performance thing in this truck, it's just, I don't see the point of a sunroof in a pickup truck. Now, I know I'm going to go down in history as the guy that hates Priuses and sunroofs, but so be it, because I'm sure there's going to be comments about sunroofs, Priuses, the stripes on the side of the truck. I can't win, but again, I don't want to win. This is more of a would I buy it kind of a thing, because I don't know you. I don't know who you are as a buyer. I don't know who you are as a person. Some people love stripes. Some people hate stripes. I don't like vinyl stripes. I don't like the vinyl stripes that are put on by the factory because they always end before the actual gap. They're always kind of dull looking and they don't fit right. In fact, I didn't point it out when we were walking around it, but they don't line up on this truck. They're actually off center and one is more forward than the other on this truck. So yeah, paint them on, I'm okay with that, because you paint them on, you put them under the clear, they're there forever. The new Viper, up until now where it's no longer the new Viper, the outgoing Viper has painted stripes under the clear coat. And it was actually a big deal, because you look at even a Shelby GT350R, it has vinyl striping on it, which is absolutely stupid in my mind, especially when you're talking about a mid to high five-figure vehicle. You can't do that. So personal opinion said, personal opinion metered out when it comes to stripes. So again, I look forward to being roasted alive by the community. So here we are, we're back. Sorry about that. The phone decided to overheat and shut off. It's been doing that more and more lately. I think it's about on its last legs, so I need to get that replaced. I need to get a new camera. I need to do all kinds of fun stuff. We'll see if I get that done in the next few weeks. For now, please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Give me a thumbs down if you actually believe that you are the reincarnated soul of Satan, and then I'll know. So until next time, talk to you later. One reason why I don't like factory stripes, look at these stripes. Can you see the difference? It's not centered, and this stripe is too far forward. That one is not as far forward as that one. Come on, guys. You sticker guys have one job to do, and that's putting stickers on these trucks that nobody likes. Do it right at least.